Since I posted on my social media handles that I relocated from Nigeria to the UK, I've been having a whole lot of questions on my DM, especially when I mentioned that I traveled through Cotonou airport. I thought to answer those questions collectively by making a YouTube video so I can give you the details. I can give you all the details. I know most of you are waiting, can't wait to hear the details and all, as given the fact that you are planning to travel and all those stuff. So in this video I'll be telling you guys how I traveled from, because I was actually staying in Benin, Edo State in Nigeria before I left. So how I traveled from Benin to Lagos, Lagos to Cotonou, Cotonou to London, and London finally to Scotland. It was a long journey, but let's get right into it. Hi guys, welcome to RIONA'S space. If you don't know me already, this is Riona. This is my YouTube channel where we talk about skincare and basic lifestyle. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, if you are new to this channel, welcome to this place. Do well to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell behind the subscribe button. Also, if you are an old subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with me. I love you. I love you guys. So let's get right into the video without further ado. You guys, I relocated. Yeah, I relocated. That explains my inconsistencies on my social media platform, on my social media pages, my Facebook, my TikTok especially, my YouTube. I've been so inconsistent this year in posting videos, and that's because I've been processing my relocation. My man and I have been processing our relocation, so it has been so hectic. It has not really been easy, in all honesty, but again, anything you commit into the hands of God will definitely come out successful. Before we started this journey, before we started this project, I personally told God that, God, this time around I am not putting anything in my hand. Everything is in his hand, and definitely whatever you commit in the hands of the Lord, it will surely come out successfully. God never fails. So this is me using an opportunity to tell you that that project you've been bothered about, that uncompleted project and all those stuff, that incomplete project that you just abandoned and the rest, just commit it into the hands of God and see what God can do. So I'm not going to run through all the whole processes, how we started, how we got, when we got our international passport and all. I don't want to bore you with that. I know you already know all those stuffs, and you probably already have your passport and the rest, which is why you want to watch this video to know the remaining part. After we packed our stuffs, the morning we left, our flight to the UK was on the 9th of September. So we had to leave Benin 2 days before. We had to leave Benin 2 days before. You understand? So everything you have to calculate, knowing fully well that we will still have to get to Lagos first. We had to leave 2 days before. So we actually took God is Good motors, because I don't know, I would advise you, since you know what you've gone through to get here. Like, you understand what I mean? Nigerians should understand what I mean. It is sensible enough, if you are not taking flights, you can easily opt for flights to Cotonou airport straight. You can easily opt for flights, but again, I would advise that since you are coming to a new country, except you have someone here that has already helped you do one or two things, but we had nobody here. So if you are like us that had nobody here and we are basically starting from scratch, I would advise you not to waste money too much on so many unnecessary things. Instead of taking flights to Cotonou, you can just break the journey with bus, just go on land, except you have the extra cash. Again, no problem. So we took bus, we took God is Good bus. Ensure when you're taking bus, take a registered bus. I know why I'm saying it, preferably God is Good and you know the other ones. So so we took God is Good bus from Benin to Lagos. We got to Lagos around 4 p.m 5 p.m. So before we left, when we got to Lagos, we went to go change our naira to pounds. It's advisable to change your naira to pounds before you leave the country before you leave Nigeria, because you would need cash. Given the fact that you don't have a bank account in the new country, you would need cash to buy one or two things when you get to the UK. Do you understand? So we changed our naira to pounds. I think we changed over 400k into pounds, and so we stopped at God is Good, Iyanokpaja, what is it called now? The Iyanokpaja branch. That's where we stopped, and that's the place you should stop. You understand? So we stopped there. We booked a cab. I won't advise you to leave your bags in that God is Good park. I wanted to make that mistake. I told the guy that I want to store my bags there because we are going to travel the next morning to Cotonou. He said he wouldn't advise it because each bag is at owner's risk. So I had to take my bags. We had to take our bags to go lodge in the hotel, and make sure the hotel you are going to lodge is a hotel very close to the God is Good, Iyanokpaja, so that you can easily come to the God is Good park early in the morning the next day and leave and take the bus and leave to Cotonou. So we lodged in the hotel just roughly 3 streets away from the God is Good park. Then what I did was that I struck a contract with the cabman that he was going to come carry us again the next morning as early as 4 a.m. So I just paid him everything together. So very honest man. He came, he was even the one that woke me up. He woke me up with his call. He came around 4 a.m. Then we packed our things. Then he took us to God is Good park. Then immediately we got to the park. We went to meet them at the table there, the officials there. We told them, okay, we're going to Cotonou and the rest. They basically use one bus, except when they have so many passengers going out of Nigeria. They basically use one bus for passengers going to Cotonou, Togo, which is Lomé, Ghana, and maybe any of those West African countries. So it's just one bus, and they have a specialized bus for them. So we told them, they were like, okay, let's hold on. They will tell us when it's our turn to leave. So I think we left Iyanokpaja around 9 a.m. We're supposed to leave by 8 a.m. but of course, you know, African time. So we left around 9 a.m. and the journey wasn't far. So the journey is like going from Benin to Lagos. It's even shorter than that. Yeah, it's even shorter than that. The journey was smooth. Again, I would advise you, if you want to take bus from Lagos to Cotonou, use a registered vehicle. I would advise that, so that so many unnecessary questions will be avoided, so many unnecessary stops will be avoided. And even our driver gave us free foods like 2 to 3 times. Free foods. So when there are so many stops. I think there are 3 to 4 stops before you get to the main Cotonou border. So the first one is it NDLEA now? I don't know their names. Then the other one is immigration people. Then one other one again before we now go to the bus stop. Again, please, when you are going, go along with your, of course, you know you go along with your international passport now. Ensure you take all the documents you need along with you. And I would advise you to put all your necessary documents in your carry-on bag. That's the bag you're going to carry on all through. So that in case they need any document, you can just easily bring it out from your bag and show it to them. So before we embarked on the journey from Lagos to Cotonou, we asked to submit our international passport or our NIN. Our international passport was very fine in our bag. That was the mistake we made. That's why I'm saying you should put it in your carry-on bag. So it got so good. We carried our NIN and it was in our carry-on bag. So we just gave them our NIN. Those that had NIN, gave them their NIN slip. Those that had international passport handy, we gave them the international slip. So international passport, so to speak. The journey is roughly 3 hours. It's not far at all. Very easy if you're going to Cotonou though. It's not far at all. So eventually we got to Cotonou border. So this is what the border looks like. Very pretty. So we got to Cotonou border, and there everybody has to stop. You have to stop. And what they did was that those of us that gave them our NIN slip. They asked us to go to a particular room for questioning, which is normal. Then those that gave them their international passport, they went to another room for interview. I don't know the questions they asked them there, but in where we went to, because we submitted our NIN slip, where we went to, they asked us our names and all those stuff. Then what are we going there to do? So you just have to be open and plain with them. Nobody is going to harm you, insult you, or anything. Just be plain and open with them. You understand? So you answer your questions, and they are so friendly. I actually even met an Igbo woman. They were just gisting. They are so friendly. They were even laughing all through the questioning. So that took us roughly 1 hour, because they had to question everybody. You understand? So right there and then, remember, you are going into Cotonou. They don't use Naira in Cotonou. They use CFAs. So you have to have Naira with you so that you can change it to CFAs when you get to Cotonou border. I would advise you to change it when you get to Cotonou border. Our driver even helped us. He was a very nice man, so he helped us get someone to change our money, and most of us just changed the money, you get, from Naira to CFAs. So I really don't know the exact amount my guy changed. I really don't, because he was the one that did the whole transaction. But I think Cotonou CFAs is actually higher than Naira. Just take note. So I think we changed 60,000 Naira into 45,000 CFAs. Like I said, CFAs is higher than Naira, so you just have to be conscious. Again, when considering how much you will change, just know that the CFAs is just the amount of money you use to book a hotel to sleep over before your flight the next day. Then the food you will eat, you don't need anything extra now. The food you eat, the hotel you book, and the cab you are going to take to the hotel. Those are the basic things we spend CFAs on. You understand? And also, before you get into Cotonou, I would advise you to probably ask anybody that you know has gone for any hotels, cheap hotels around, because most of the hotels close to the airport is a little bit on the high side. So, and most times they are filled up with people that are traveling out now, you get. So, and again, immediately you start the journey, keep telling the driver, please, I am stopping at Cotonou, close to the airport. Just tell the driver that Cotonou, close to the airport. They have a special place they will drop you, and it will make it easier for you. Understand? So we told our driver that our driver was like, no problem. So after we passed the border, it took us an extra hour to get to where they will stop us, which was close to the airport. So they stop us there. Cotonou is a French-speaking country. Like, once you enter Cotonou, you know there's no English. Their billboard, everything is in French. It's just that few of them understands Yoruba. I don't know how. Probably because the country is close to Lagos, and Lagos speaks Yoruba. And even their radio station was Yoruba they were speaking, and other stuff. So Yoruba and French. So if you know how to speak Yoruba like me, it's an added advantage for you. So we got to where they will stop us in Cotonou. Then we took a cab. The cabman we even took didn't understand Yoruba, so, and he could only understand French, and none of us could speak French now. My guy and I, we couldn't speak French, so we're just breaking the word. Go here, I come here, hotel, airport, that's what we're doing. And the guy understood, and it was very nice. So it took us to about 2 to 3 hotels very close to the airport. But those hotels were very filled up, 1, and 2, they were expensive. You know, we changed money to just 45 CFAs or so, so we didn't have all the money to book to take a luxurious hotel. So he now said he has a hotel he will take us to, which is better. And the good thing is that there is no traffic, there's no traffic jam, there's no hold up in Cotonou. Anywhere you want to get to, you can get there within 5 to 10 minutes. The road is very free. So he took us to one place that is a little bit far from the airport. I was now like worried. I was like, okay, are we not going to... is this place not too far? And the rest, when we got to the hotel, luckily for us, the receptionist understands English. So she told us that I should not worry, that there's no hold up in Benin. That irrespective of how far it is, you can get to the airport within 5 to 10 minutes. So I think we paid, the hotel we took, we paid about 6,000 cefas per night. And we're just staying there. We didn't even stay there for one night because our flight was meant to be 4 a.m. the next day, which was on the 9th. So, and we got to Cotonou on the 8th of September. So, and if you have to go to the airport, it is advisable you go 4 hours before your flight so that you can do all your check-ins, and if there's any issue you can resolve that before your flight time. So we got to the hotel, we paid, we got a room, then we met a Nigerian guy in the hotel. He said he just came to chill and all those stuff, so we made friends with him and the rest. So we got food. I can't remember how much we spent on food. There was this the guy introduced us to a woman that actually cooks food for people. So she got us food. Then we just relaxed till around 12 midnight. So 12 midnight, Cotonou was still busy. So 12 midnight, we hey, this video is getting too long. We left the hotel. Then the hotel gave us their official cab. So the cab took us straight to the airport. So when we get to the airport, when you get to the airport, to Cotonou airport, I think the name is International Cotonou Airport. That's the only airport they have in Cotonou. So don't worry, they're not going to lose you. Just tell the cabman you're going to the airport. So when we get to the airport, somebody came to meet us and asked us, do you want to wrap your bag? Do you want to wrap your bag? Say yes and follow the person no. Because there is a reason. I'll tell you the reason. So when we got to the man took us to where they wrap bags. They wrap bags at the gate of the airport. Now those people that wrap bags, luckily for me, I met a Yoruba man, so I could relate with him. Those people that wrap bags, they will help you. They helped us rearrange our bags, like, because we were planning to pay for extra. They helped us rearrange our bags, and they were like, if you had paid for extra, do you know how much you will pay? So they were like, that's one that we packaged into one full 46 kg, which had our food, that we should separate it, that it must be 23, then 10 kg per person. They helped us rearrange everything. They sell Ghana must go, so they gave us about 2 Ghana must go. They rearranged everything and made sure. It took time, but they made sure everything was in the right kg, every single thing. So after the whole repackaging, they now helped us. We now told them to wrap our bag. There is this machine that wraps your bag with nylon. It is advisable to wrap your bag so that, especially when you're carrying a weightless bag, like I mentioned, so that the things in your bag are not just going to pour anyhow and the rest. You know when the plane is moving, you get. So, and again, I wouldn't advise you to carry anything liquid like groundnut oil, palm oil. Don't carry. When you get to the UK, you can buy all those things easily. There are African shops here, and of course there are so many types of oil here safe. They have olive oil, they have sunflower oil, they have vegetable oil, they have groundnut oil. So you even pick from varieties. So I wouldn't advise you to carry that because they might seize it at the airport. Then in your carry-on bag, don't carry anything like perfume or anything that has bottle or that's liquid. It will be collected from you. It will be seized at the airport. We asked them to wrap all our bags except our carry-on bag. Then after wrapping it, you write your name on it and write your destination, so that in case other passengers carries similar bags like you, they don't mix it up. So when we got to the entrance, the main entrance, after wrapping our bag, the main entrance of the airport, the first thing you would do is they would check you in. They will check you in. There were so many checks in the airport. They will check you in. You drop your phone somewhere. They will check you in and other things. After checking you in, you collect your phone. Then you have to go and queue to the next checkpoint. The next checkpoint, they're going to collect your international passport and ensure that it is you that is on the passport and the rest. Then they will probably ask you what you are going to do. Then if you are going as a student, I would advise you to print out your admission letter that your school gave to you. Print it out and have the hard copy with you in your bag, because they might ask you that They actually asked us, but we didn't know that it was needed. So we just had to play with them that we didn't know it was needed. They were nice. They agreed. But again, just print it out and the rest. So that was the next checkpoint. Then the third checkpoint was when they will now weigh your bags. They will weigh your bags to ensure that your bags it's not beyond the bags you're carrying per person is not beyond the required kg. You know you're flying, so the weight on the plane is not supposed to be too much. So they weigh our bags, and you know those guys had already helped us arrange it, so there was none of the bags were beyond the required kg. So we're like, we're good. So the next checkpoint is a police checkpoint. Police will collect your international passport. They would check the details there, take a passport of you, they have a machine to do all those things. Take a passport of you, scan your fingerprint, and just do general checkup. So just make sure your documents are complete and the information on your documents are correct. So after the police checkpoint, the last checkpoint, which was the fifth checkpoint, was now remember when they weighed your bags at the third checkpoint, they are going to carry your bag. So the only thing you'll be left with is your carry-on bag. That's why I said you should put your documents in your carry-on bag so that you can show the police at the police checkpoints. So they are going to carry your bags like that and go and be loading them in the plane. So you are going to be left with your carry-on bag. After the police checks you, then you go to the last checkpoint where they will check not necessarily open your bag, but there's a machine that will scan your carry-on bag. So I mistakenly left my perfume in my carry-on bag. So the machine detected it, so they seized it. They removed it actually. It's for your own safety actually. So they removed it, and after scanning your bag, they are going to scan you too from head to toe. There's a machine that is going to do that still. So after that, we're done with the check. So the check-ins were basically 5 checkpoints in the hotel. Then we had to go sit down in the waiting area to wait for our flight time. Now, the lady announcing the flights that are due per time speaks French. You understand? She speaks French. So the wisest thing to do is definitely you're going to meet other people there, other Nigerians and the rest. So what you're going to do is that while she's announcing and the rest, ensure that if you don't understand anything, you ask the person next to you. Again, the police is going to be the one to give you a boarding pass, that paper that you put inside your international passport to know the plane you enter, the number of plane you enter. While the police is checking you, they're the ones that will give you your boarding pass. So we waited till around 4 a.m. which was our flight time. So they started announcing, but because I had already known the number of the flights we're using, Royal Air Maroc, which is the name, then the number of the flights was on our boarding pass. So immediately they called it. We all stood up. Then we lined up. Okay, the check-ins were 6. The very last check-in was the one they're going to do before you now go to the hangar. Hangar is a place where they have planes, where they keep planes. So before you now go to the hangar and board your plane. So we did the last check-in. That one, nothing serious, just to show them your boarding pass and your international passport. Then an official bus came to pick us up from the exit door, to the front of the stairs of the plane. That was actually the first time in my life. You guys won't believe it. If you know me well, then you'll believe it. That was the first time in my life I would get that close to a plane. That's the first time in my life I would touch a plane. That's the first time in my life I would actually enter a plane. I've never flown before because I had this phobia for flights, this rubbish phobia. That what if something happens? That okay, if you're on the land, if you're using land transportation, God forbid, if something wants to happen, you can easily jump down. But this one, you can't jump down. So I had that serious flight phobia. But when we started the journey, it wasn't. So we entered into the plane. Then we started the journey. We're supposed to take 2 flights. One from Cotonou airport there to Casablanca. Laid over at Casablanca. Then from Casablanca to London, Heathrow Airport. Is it Heathrow or Heathrow Airport in London, where you pass through the UK? The journey wasn't bad. It It wasn't bad. The only fear I had was when the plane was landing. You know, it lands with pressure, so that fear. Yeah. So, but when it's taking you up, it's as if you are floating. But when you are coming down, it's as if somebody is dropping you to the ground. So, but it wasn't bad. But my guy suffered serious jet lag on the plane. Serious jet lag because it was our first time flying, and we even had to start calling the host and the hostesses on the plane that they should help us with medication and all those stuff. And at least they helped us with and this thing, and it helped. So we got to the journey from Cotonou to Casablanca, which is Morocco. It was roughly 4 hours. Yeah. So we got to Casablanca airport. We did our check-ins. Then after your check-ins at the airport, don't just go to the airport and just start snapping. You don't know. You will have to do check-ins. So immediately you get to that place, you lay over. We did our check-ins and we now had to go sit. Now in that Casablanca airport, I don't know if it's like that at other airports, but there are areas each of those flight people are supposed to sit. Like if your flight is, example, AT Royal Maroc AT500, there is a place you will sit. So, but when you get to the airport, you will see it a board that is going to show you where you will sit down. Are you supposed to sit down in area A, area B, area C? They're in alphabetical order. So we mistakenly went to sit down in area E while we're supposed to sit down at area A. We almost missed our flight. But again, anything you're not clear on, ask people. Ask people, it will help you a lot. So we asked questions, we went to check the board and the rest, and just roughly 30 minutes before our flight, we discovered that we were sitting in the wrong area. So we went to sit in the right area. Then it was our flight time to London. Then we did our check-ins again before we entered the plane to London. Casablanca to London took us 3 hours, roughly 3 hours. So we got to London. When you get to London, immediately you're entering, you are going to go line up so that you can pass through the UK border into London. So the crowd was much, but again, the officials were very fast. So in no time, we passed through. So again, remember that your documents are supposed to be in your carry-on bag. Yeah, because you are not going to get your bag until after your last check-in at that UK border. You are not going to get all those your other bags. So, and those officials at the UK border, they might ask you for 1 or 2 documents. So again, as a student, remember to print out your university admission letter and put it in your bag. So when you got to our turn, they asked me about my guy, his birthday. They asked my guy my birthday, and that was it. The questions were easy for us. Again, there are different questions for different persons, so just be honest and ensure that what you are saying tallies with what is on your document. Then we got into the airport. We got into after then you now go to, there's another place, you go and claim your baggage, the bags you carried, those big bags. So we got there. Fortunately and unfortunately, we found 2 out of our 4 bags. So we couldn't find the remaining 2. It's just that they were delayed. So we went to meet the officials there. There are some officials you can meet there. We laid a complaint to them. So they took our details, took our address, the place we are going to be staying in the UK, and promised us that they are going to deliver it to our address. You understand? So we dropped our email with them, because as at then you've not gotten the UK number to drop with them. So we dropped our email with them. Then they gave us a receipt. They were like, we should call them if we've not seen our bag in the next 3 days or so. So it was already late at night and we were still in London, and immediately we got out of the border to that place that you see arrivals, where people will be waiting for their loved ones to come out of the airport, who were almost stranded because we had nobody, we had nowhere to go to. We were thinking we're going to get to London on time so that we'll quickly go to Scotland from there. We didn't know the journey was so far from London. So at 9 p.m. we're still at the airport there. My guy was just walking around looking for solution. And over here, you can't just go to any hotel. You must book the hotel beforehand. So there's this lady that just randomly came to meet me because I was already looking stressed and tired the whole journey now. She just randomly came to meet me, and she was like, "Are you okay? Are you fine?" She's a Ghanaian lady that stays in London. "Are you fine? You look so distressed." Shout out to you, Nana. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. It touched a part of my heart. So I just explained to her what was happening there and then. even given the fact that she was waiting for her sister at the airport, even when her sister came, she just told her sister to hold on. We didn't know her from anywhere. She told her sister to hold on. She helped us book a hotel and did the whole necessary booking and the rest, and told us how to go about it, how to get to the hotel and the rest. She finished, she did everything, and she didn't ask for a dime. I was so surprised, given where I'm coming from. So she was like, okay, no problem. I got her number. She was like, anytime you want to come and spend time in London, just let me know. You're welcome anytime. Such a nice lady. God, people are God sent. So went to the hotel, we slept over, and the next morning we embarked on the journey from London to Scotland. We came in by bus, so they don't really call it bus here, they call it coach. So we took Uber. You have to download the Uber app immediately you get to London. If you don't have it yet, it will help you a whole lot. So we took Uber from the hotel, and again, if you delay the Uber man is going to leave. So if you delay by 1 millisecond, it's going to leave. We booked the first Uber, and our load was still inside. We're trying to carry the load outside the hotel. The man left because, again, they work with time here. So we booked the second one, but we ensured that we're already outside. So the man took us to their bus station, their coach. They call it coach, actually, not bus. So we just took a bus we broke the journey still. We took around 8:30 a.m. We started the journey. We took a bus from London there to Birmingham, then from Birmingham to Scotland. So it took us roughly 12 hours by bus. But if you want to take flight is 45 hours to Scotland from London. Train, I don't know how many hours, but it is definitely shorter than bus. Bus is the longest and cheapest. Again, I said anyhow you can save, manage money, manage. And when we got here, we already started spending our pounds, which was why I said you should have pounds at hand. So we got here around 9 p.m. So that was basically it, and we thank God for safe journey, and I hope I've been able to answer your questions with this whole long talk. If you are not clear on any other thing, I am not an immigration officer, at least not yet. So I'm just saying this based on my own experience, and I hope I've answered your question in one or two ways. So if you're not clear on anything, or you're still curious about one thing or the other, if I have an answer to them, I will definitely tell you. But just put your questions in the comment section. Just let me know any other thing you want me to know in the comment section. And if you like this video, if it was very informative and very helpful, please do well to give it a thumbs up, a huge one, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that. And of course, hit the notification bell to get notified as to when I'll post a new video. I'll be posting not just skincare video, but basically skincare and lifestyle in general. So till I see you guys again in my next video, I'm sure I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Till then, bye bye.